Welcome back to the Awakening Tapes, where we explore spirituality, mental health, the paranormal, and the mysteries of the human experience. Today we're diving into something deeply personal, something we all wrestle with: vulnerability. We often hear, if you can't measure it, it doesn't exist. But I'm here to tell you that's a lie. The most profound aspect of life, love, joy, connection, even fear, are immeasurable yet undeniably real. And at the heart of it all lies vulnerability. What keeps us out of true connection? The fear of being unworthy. We build walls. We hide our true selves, all because we're afraid. We're not good enough. But what if I told you that vulnerability isn't weakness, but it's the birthplace of joy, creativity, belonging, and love? We struggle with vulnerability for so many reasons, but the biggest is that we numb. We try to avoid the pain, the discomfort, but we can't selectively numb. We end up numbing everything: the joy, the gratitude, the connection. It's like we make everything uncertain certain. We also try to perfect ourselves. A different game because we often do the same to our children. They're hardwired for struggle when they get here. Our job is to know that we're not perfect, but we are worthy of love and belonging. And then there's the denial of impact. We pretend what we do doesn't affect others, but it does. And acknowledging that brings accountable. It's terrifying because we have to acknowledge we can hurt and be hurt. But there's another way. It takes courage, but I call common courage is to tell the story of your heart, your whole heart, every bit of your heart, including the scars. It means being authentic, letting go of who we think we should be embracing, and embracing who we truly are. Because connection is a result of authenticity. And it starts with compassion, being kind to ourselves before we can truly connect with others. Sometimes a breakdown can actually lead to a spiritual awakening, a catalyst for a change. The journey of vulnerability is I can't speak right now, I'm a little tired at this. But the journey of vulnerability is deeply personal. It's not just a theory. It's something I've wrestled with myself. Recently, I've been reflecting on this even more deeply. And I want to share some insight using the lens of tarot and oracle cards. These tools can be powerful for self-discovery and understanding the energies at play within us. I had this experience recently. Well, it's been dragging on for a couple of years, but I've had this experience with someone I felt a deep connection with. I was drawn to her kindness, her intelligence, her passion, her beauty, her eyes. I can go on and on, but I also felt incredibly unworthy unworthy of this connection, unworthy of this relationship, unworthy of this attention. I just felt completely unworthy of it all. But I did feel this connection. And I questioned everything about myself. My looks, my intelligence, my age, my worth. I was terrified of being seen, truly seen. Despite of my fear, I was drawn to her. She inspired me to confront a deep-seated trauma around writing when I was deep into depression, to help me. It was hard, and I did it for her. I did it because she told me that would help, and I wanted to show her that I was trying. So I was trying to recover from the feeling of being an imposter and, an imposter syndrome. I couldn't stop thinking of her laughs, her smiles, and the way she talked, the different tones in her voice, her humor, her stories, the secrets we shared. She was my muse when I started to write. She was who I thought about while I worked throughout my self-healing journey. And I ended up pushing and pulling out of the fear of things. And she ended up pretty much pulling me in as I pushed, pulling me in as I pushed, till one time I gave one big final last push, one big no push. And in return, she pulled me in so hard that it broke down my walls. It broke down all the walls that I built around myself. I came to a realization, stop fighting it. Stop running from myself, who I am. I had a breakdown. A real spiritual awakening. Right over there in my bathroom, actually. But that breakdown, as painful as it was, brought me back to life. It allowed me to see myself clearly. Now I can honestly say I love myself. And I love her deeply, even without any guarantee about the future. Looking back, I can see how pride played a role in my initial hesitation, in my fear of being seen. I was like the moon oracle was speaking directly to me. The card I drew was, don't let pride get in your way. It's a message that resonates deeply with vulnerability. Pride, that fear of not being good enough, can be a powerful barrier to true connection. It makes us afraid to show our flaws, our imperfections, the very things that make us human. And I also drew tarot. I drew one card, the Seven of Wands, a card that challenges competition, the card that means, that's all about challenges, competition, and standing your ground. Sorry, I'm looking at it while I'm doing this. It's reminded me that choosing vulnerability isn't a passive thing. It's a fight, a struggle, but a worthy one. It's about facing those inner sticks, those deep-seated fears that hold us back. For me, those sticks were, don't make any sense. You're stupid. You're not good enough. You're unworthy. The Seven of Wands reminds us that there may be challenges ahead. You can face them. Now I'd like to offer you a journaling prompt inspired by these cards to explore your own relationship and vulnerability. First, reflect on the message of the Moon Oracle. Don't let pride get in your way. Where does pride show up in your life? How does it prevent you from being vulnerable? Consider specific situations and relationships. Next, think about the challenges you face when trying to be vulnerable. What are your sticks? Those fears and insecurities that you need to confront. How can you stand your ground, like the figure of the Seven of Wands, in your commitment to vulnerability? Consider these cards as you journal. Let them guide your reflection and help you understand your own journey towards greater vulnerability. To further enhance your journaling experience, I recommend listening to Fragile by Sting. Its pungent lyrics about the fragility of life and love, beauty, beautifully complements the theme of the vulnerability and self-discovery we've been discussing. The journey of vulnerability is a lifelong process, it's one of the it's one of the things that I believe is essential for living a truly authentic and fulfilling life. I believe it is time for me to be seen as who I am. And that's why I'm not going to edit this. You're going to see my mistakes. You're going to see my flaws. This is me. I'd love to connect with all of you on this journey. So please follow the Awakening Tapes on, I want to stop. The Awakening Tapes podcast on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok at You Are My Family Now. Let's continue this conversation and support each other in embracing our true selves. Brené Brown said, "Vulnerability is not weakness. I define vulnerability as emotional risk, exposure, uncertainly, I'm reading this off. Uncertainty, it fuels our willingness to show up, to try, to step out of the arena. It's all about courage." Sorry about that. I'm a little bit sleepy at this point. Yeah, I've been up all night again. So anyways, let's do a collective reading for all my listeners. Now I want to share with you a collective tarot reading for all of you listening. Remember, this is a general reading. The general reading offers potential themes and energies that might resonate. Take what feels right. Leave the rest. Tarot is a tool of self-reflection. It's not a crystal ball. So our first card is the Hierophant reversed. Suggests a time of questioning established beliefs and seeking your truth. Perhaps you're feeling the urge to break free from limiting structures or to challenge conventional wisdom. The second card is the Queen of Pentacles. It's reversed. That highlights the importance of self-care and practical matters. It might be a good time to focus on your well-being, address any financial anxieties, and create a sense of stability in your life. Our third card is the Six of Wands. Speaks to recognition and achievement. It's a reminder to acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how small, and to celebrate your progress. Okay, so underlying these cards is the energy of 3 cups reversed, suggesting that some of us might be feeling isolated and disconnected from others. The Hermit on top of the deck encourages introspection and seeking inner wisdom. The 4 of Cups in my hand when I break the deck suggests a need to be mindful of missed opportunities or emotional empathy. Apathy is what I was trying to say. Oh, right, let's check this one. All right, so on the table lies the Magician part of the deck. So I had the deck on the table, lifted up in my hand. In my hand was the 4 cups, and on the table was the Magician. And that reminds us our potential and our power. We have value to create positive change. So as you reflect on these cards, consider how they might relate to your own journey. Are you questioning old beliefs? Are you prioritizing self-care? Are you acknowledging your achievements? Are you feeling disconnected or inspired? These cards are a framework for self-exploration and can provide valuable insight as you navigate your path. So, I challenge you this week where you can be a little more vulnerable in your life. It doesn't have to. Never mind. It won't be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Thank you for joining me, Lucas Olson, on the Awakening Tapes. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends. And let me know your thoughts on vulnerability using hashtag #AwakeningTapes on social media. Until next time, be brave, be vulnerable, and be you.